I became undivided in
Ooh.
my own devotion to sales. I think I had been teaching about sales as a spiritual practice from pretty early on. That came early. So, but there was something still, right? Like I was still hiding. Like sales is my spiritual practice, but I'm not talking about it. Or only behind closed doors. And I think that when we kind of opened up the floodgates of being willing to acknowledge this very publicly, sales, we teach sales. What does Jesse Johnson do? What does Jesse Johnson coaching do? One of the primary pillars is we teach sales, and not just sales, but sales as a spiritual practice. That hiding, that division that came with me, I was used to it from that old paradigm before I started my business. That was still operating, and it was like in that moment, I did the work to line up with what had been asked of me all along. And so then I wasn't pushing and pulling us in multiple directions. We were like, no, this is where we're going. And this is where I had been told and taught to go by, I would say, by God. So it was like finally getting on the wagon that had been prepared for me. And it was shocking to me, actually, the kind of lack of resistance that appeared in my owning what was true. And I think that this is a trend. This is a truth that connects to the conversation we had recently about Oprah and the relevance of her being herself. That's the theme. That's the takeaway from this story is it was me being willing to be myself that opened the potential to claim sales in the way that I was, and then have people respond to that, because people respond to authenticity.
Yeah.
I still don't think actually that people think that sales is such a fun idea, but they respond to my conviction, to my alignment, to my resonance, and the company's. And that's attractive to them. So even with a really edgy topic or a really unpopular topic.
But once they get in there and they start doing the things that you told them to do and seeing the results and moving through the discomfort, and as one client put it, feeling the karma burn away. Can you tell us about the shift that you saw in your clients' results? I mean, if we think a few years back to the coaching around things where maybe the sales wasn't the central pillar, where maybe that wasn't like the main source of the work, and then flash forward to what are the results when when the clients are coming in and that's the focus.
I just felt a little punch to the gut when you asked that question, because I had not made that connection. But I think that is the turning point also in terms of client results. I mean, people were doing amazing things always.
Yeah.
I think that coaching is amazing. And so even the worst context can be transformational and huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I had seen people do incredible things, but there was a kind of inconsistency about client results, or a shyness about client results, or something about it just really shifted, and I had not put together that I think that was the turning point. And now it's not, client results are all over the place. I can't control them. I never could. No one can. But I do think that my container, because of the work that I've done on myself, everything that we're talking about today, I do think that there's less noise in the container, which both means that my clients have only their own noise to think about, rather than also having my noise. But they also uncomfortably but growthfully have to see their noise, because there's nothing else to hide behind. So, we've had a lot more 7-figure earners since I claimed sales publicly. We've had a lot more multiple 6-figure earners and 6-figure success. Like, the success stories it's sort of, my relationship to testimonials has actually shifted, because it's like, there's always going to be another one. Do we really need to collect them? How do we collect them in a way that's really meaningful? Because these are not just results. These are transmissions.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, in a fundamental way, the work started to work exponentially better when I claimed it, which totally makes sense.
You get this visual of like a grill or one of those induction stovetops. And it's
Uh-huh.
like the heat was always there, come and like warm yourself, come and burn away the fog and the bullshit and like come and get some of this light. But when the sails got turned up, it's like, okay. And if you move to the
Mm-hmm.
center, this heat is
Mm-hmm.
white hot. It'll burn through anything if you come into the middle and do this good stuff.
Yes. I love that
Yeah, that's
image.
so
That's
cool.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I focus, putting my stake in the ground. That's the other piece that's relevant to say here, because I think it's not just lining up with sales. That's part of it, but it's also choosing. Because before that, I wanted to do lots of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, they're all related and they all touch each other, but it was so like agonizing for me to say yes to anything if it meant saying no to something else. It was really hard for me to do that always in my life. This is another origin story. Um, and I think that it was like, come here for sales, y'all. Like, that's what I'm holding. That's what I'm going to be holding. I'm not going to change tomorrow. I'm here for this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that there was a really potent transmission in that as well, in terms of claiming that I'm going to marry this person and I'm going to stop dating. FYI. It was like that.
Yeah, yeah. And then floodgates open.
By the way, that
Yes?
happened around the same time. I mean, this is all connected. All of this is connected.
Everything you want is already